Oh my goodness. Hello. Thank you so much for joining the live. Please let me know if you can see me. I am looking down here because here's where I have my laptop, my chat, so I can read your comments. Hi everyone. I hope I'm looking at the right place. Yes. Hello. How is everyone doing? Hi Robin. Hi Diane. Let me know if you can hear me okay, please. When will I come to your house and make abons? Hi, yes, do let me know. Oh, thank you. Do let me know if you are joining. Where are you joining from? Okay, if I'm looking down, I'm reading your comments because it's easier to read on the laptop than in there. Hi, Celestina. Hi, Nora. Hi, everyone. I hope I'm looking at the right place on the camera. I am so excited to be here, you guys. I haven't done a live on my channel in a really long time. I don't know what I'm looking at. This is gonna be funny rewatching because I don't know where. Okay, I'm looking down here. Okay. Hello. Okay, let me say hello. Let's see. We have Robin. We have Chrissy. Hi, Chrissy. Hi, Jessica from Arizona, South Texas. Yeah, let me know where you're from. New York. Hi, Butterfly Charm. Hi. What is your name? J. Nell Tech from Ohio. Robin's from Kentucky. Oh, I hope this is a good time for you guys. It is 6 o'clock here. I had to pick a later life because it's been like 80s or 90s where we are. So we're trying to not be so hot. If you hear a little bit of noise in the background, it's my fan because I need it. Trying not to make noise for you guys, so I turn it off, but it might come on at some points. Hello to friends. Hello. Hi, Anna. Oh, you're in the Dominican Republic, Anna? I didn't know that. I see you commenting all the time, so this is great now. I can see where you guys are joining from, so thank you so much. I want to start by saying thank you for helping me reach this amazing milestone. I remember a few years ago, I would have never imagined this would be something that became kind of like a part of my life as strong as it is right now. So I do thank you forever. As I was setting up the life with my daughter, we're trying to, figure out the whole admin and stuff. And I went into my YouTube studio and they had sent me a message that today is actually my channel's birthday as well. So today is officially 7 years that I opened my channel, which is crazy because I know I opened it on 2015. And so here we are, we're still going and I love it. Yeah, 7 years is crazy. I mean, my kids were literally babies when I started the channel. Now they're teaching me how to do YouTube because it escaped my mind already. I can't figure it out. I hope that you guys are having a happy Friday drink because I need one. So I'm having a bit of a cocktail. So I figure for today's live, we can do a little bit of chatting and also a project. But I did not plan any project. I'm sorry if I'm looking somewhere else because I'm reading your comments. Thank you. Yeah, it was my birthday a week ago. So a lot of celebrations. And yeah, it's been good. So I figure I can answer some questions. If you have any questions for me, maybe I can give you a guidance on talk about the channel, I don't know, talk about crafting, talk about kids, talk about life, and then we can maybe do a cute little project, something easy. Thank you, Ariel. Make sure to hit the like, you guys. Hit the like button. I never see this, but me and my girls always watch live videos from like Disneyland, and the guys are always like constantly reminding, hit the like, you guys, hit the like. So my girls are good at that. I'm not good at saying that. Hi, Marie. How are you? I hope that you're not too hot, Anne-Marie. So today we're on the, I think, 90s, what is it right now? Anyway, we have been on the hundreds this whole week. Anne-Marie lives around my area, so I know she's been struggling like me. And today it's a little bit cooler, but we're still like on the 87, 90s. So still 6 o'clock and I am sweating. And yeah. So Jessica says, how do you manage to craft with the little ones? I haven't figured that out. Well, when the girls were little, it was a little bit easier to craft, honestly, because I would always craft after they went to sleep. And they would go to sleep really early. Like they would go to sleep at 8, maybe 7:30ish we start, and it was easier. But now when I wait for them to go to sleep and then I start crafting, now it's really late. So now, and I'm a little older, so I don't have the same energy that I used to have. So I think it's important though, always trying to have a little time for yourself. I think is crucial. Like the days that I don't craft because I've been busy or stressed, I get more stressed because I am missing that in my life. So I noticed that I have been crafting less and less, and there's always a different reason. Not that I don't want to, but like I'm doing something else, I'm organizing the house, I am busy with work, and I just don't have the same energy. I think after COVID, I just haven't had the same energy anymore, and I feel something missing. So I hope that I can gain back that whole momentum of I used to like I still craft every day, but I don't make videos every day. So I wish I can go back to like having that energy. Now I feel like I lose my voice. It's just not the same, you guys. I'm sorry, it's really hot. Okay, so let's see if I can see another questions. Do you use bookmarks? I know you love to read. I love to read. I actually just moved my bookmark that I have here. So I like to make bookmarks with my scrap pieces of paper. We have all these beautiful papers and we always have scrap pieces. And so I turn them into bookmarks. And I do have a few like little collections. I made some with like magnets. So that way they like, because at night, I put my bookmark and I just throw my book literally. So it's good to have those ones with magnets. I did a tutorial a few years ago, I think, but yeah, so I do love to read and I keep bookmarks. I have a whole collection. And also I get some bookmarks that I get sent from stores, you know. It says Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday was 111. I couldn't sleep the whole night. I couldn't sleep. You couldn't sleep even at nighttime with the windows open. And the funny thing is, like, I know California is really hot, but where we are in the Bay, I'm more closer to like the San Francisco Bay. So it's not as hot on my area. And we're also really, really close to the Bay. We're not, I know 20 minutes from here, it gets really hot. But usually on my area, it never gets hot enough. And this week was very crazy. Okay, let me go up and see if I can read some questions that I've missed. Also, Natalie from LA. Hi, Natalie. I want to go to LA so bad. I know my girls want to go to Disney. They wish they can be in Disney every day. And I tell them, if you miss it, you'll like it more. If we go a lot, you won't like it more. I don't know how it is to live in LA. Let me know, is it worth it? Is it good? Going to Disney, did you ever get bored? I don't think we would ever get bored. So it is raining in LA, but still 90s. That's crazy weather. Like, hi Debbie. Hi, thank you for joining the live. Debbie's another one of my crafty VFS, and she's gonna help me admin here and help me answer your questions if I get too many. Robin, I know Robin, you were following me for a long time, so I thank you so much. Anna also. Oh, COVID. Oh, COVID. Yes. So, surprisingly enough, knock on wood, my mom has never had COVID, and she has been around COVID. I had COVID. All my girls had COVID. When she went to Peru, my brother had COVID, his daughter, everybody else. And my mother was basically taking care of all of us, and she never had it. So I wonder if she might be like one of those like incredible immune people out there. But she's really strong. So it says, hi Rosa, you're amazing, thank you. And God-given talent to crafting. I enjoy watching you. Thank you so much, Monica. I enjoy crafting when I know that you guys are, watching and following and, just putting yourself out there, making the project. Just try it. Just give it a go. I know it's a little bit difficult. It is intimidating sometimes, but I think once you do it a couple times, then you're just addicted to it, then you can just go for it. Let's see. Okay. Butterfly Charms says, I started making a folio in a box thinking of Christmas presents. I just need some Christmas papers. Christmas is my favorite holiday to craft. Like fall is my favorite holiday to do home decor and reading, but Christmas is like my crafting moment. I am working on a fall series, so you guys are gonna see that maybe in a couple weeks, because I'm also pairing it with the new digital magazine. So you're gonna see fall projects, fall magazine. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I think also for my Patreon this month, I'm actually in the middle of that tutorial. I did a Victorian Gothic Halloween collection, but it's not very Halloweeny. It's just Victorian Gothic, and I'm having fun making the project. So you'll see that soon. Let's see, where did I miss? Natalie says she's also sweating. Yeah, it is hot during the day, but cool during nights. Yeah, here hasn't been really cooling, so I hope it starts cooling soon. Anna says, I watched your August wrap up. Yes, thank you, Anna. I love talking about books. I know it's very, very, very time consuming talking about the books that I read. Number one, because I read the books throughout the month. And by the end of the month, sometimes it's hard to remember because I read so many books. It's hard to remember which one was which and who was the female character on which book. And anyway, but I do love putting those wrap up together because it's kind of for me also like going back, okay, which books did I read this month? Because it's easy, it's funny how easy you forget, you know, but some books really do stay with you for a long, long time. So but I love making those videos, so thank you so much for following me. That is my other channel, so if you guys are ever interested on listening to me talk about books, or I do a lot of vlogs and, you know, day in my life, how do I manage my work, how do I manage my crafting time, everything's on that other channel, so I'll link it below. um, let's see. So thank you, Anna. She's always watching and commenting over there as well. Hi, Darlene. Hi, seeking my crafty tribe. Hello. Brenda. Patina. Hi, Patina. I have your box. I am yet to open the few boxes that I picked up from my PO box the other day. So I have to make those videos. So this whole week I was off. I really needed a week off to relax and decompress because my work is really stressful during summer times because I do road construction. So we always work on summer and we always work on the weekends. So it's not the best time, but I have been really busy, but not so much busy, but stressed. And this whole week I was taking off. And I'm not kidding. I wanted to craft the whole week. And Tuesday I woke up with one of those like stiff neck. I don't know what they call it, but I have like a muscle, something in there that I couldn't move my neck. So I couldn't drive. I couldn't craft. I couldn't do anything. So just today I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And yes, stress is not a good thing to have. Where am I? Sorry if I am trying to read all your comments. It says, Jessica M. Girl, you love to read too. How the heck you have time as well? Audiobooks. I do a lot of audiobooks. My commute to work is about an hour. So that right there, because I listen to my audiobooks at 2x speed. I know my girls think I'm crazy, but it's not that bad. I don't think it's that fast. I think you get used to it. At the beginning, I used to go from 1 to like 1.5, but now that I really got used to listening to audiobooks, I always do 2, unless I'm reading something on like a super British accent, then I have to go back to like 1.5 so I can really understand. But audiobooks are a great way to read, also because when I read, sometimes I fall asleep. Not kidding, I do fall asleep. So when you have the audiobook and the book in front of you, it's a lot more dynamic. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like watching a movie, but someone is narrating it for you, so you don't make all that effort to read. and you can be doing other things as well. Sometimes when I'm crafting, I'm not recording, I'm listening to my audiobooks. So yeah, it's awesome. I get so much inspiration from audiobooks, or from books in general. Like the latest Patreon collection that I did was based on a book that I finished. So the book was about, it was called The Hacienda. It was about this lady who moves in there, and this house is basically haunted. And the story was on Mexico on the 19, no, it was like the 1820s. So they talk about like the clothing and the house and blah, blah, blah. So right off the back, I said, I'm going to do a gothic, like inspired collection, like with this gorgeous lady. And so that was the Patreon collection for this month that you guys probably saw a little sneak peek. Um, she says, you have two girls under 4, so everything is a challenge right now. Yes, of course. I mean, my girls are pretty old, not pretty old, but they're older. They're really independent. If anything, as they get older, they help a lot more. You know, they do their own laundry. We take turns on, doing chores around the house. And it's just a lot easier, I think. There's other challenges that come with kids growing up, but in terms of like doing everything for them, yeah, it's not as bad. But we do have all these activities, right? We do volleyball, and we always driving here and there, which is why I'm always carrying a book with me, because I'm always sitting in the car waiting for them. um, then we have, oh, let me scroll down. I think I missed a few. Okay, so Anna, thank you, Anna. Okay, so you can hear me perfect. Thank you. Okay, so it says, Mary says, you cost me about $50 today on new books. Thanks to your video. I don't mean to do that. I don't get sponsored for books, but the books are just, they're feeding the soul. They're feeding the creativity as well. I wasn't very much into reading fantasy books before, but now I kind of got into it a little bit more. And those are the books that also, like, I think I read it was called The Magic Circus, a book that I read it was this magic circus that comes and goes and appears in the middle of the night. But anyway, that inspired me to do my circus collection. So I just think about things. You get inspiration for things that you normally don't think about. I mean, I don't like circuses. I'm afraid of clowns. I'm afraid to death. Okay, so let's see. Jessica, I used to dive into a few books at the same time. Oh, I do, Jessica. I have to read at least 2 books. I think my average is 3 books at the same time. And I highly recommend that, because sometimes I get bored of one book and I kind of have to switch. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like watching TV, like you're watching a series, but I don't know, because when I watch TV, I binge on one series until I'm done. But with books, I have to switch. Like I'm reading 100 Years of Solitude, but that's such a long, heavy book that I have to break it down. And then I'm reading a thriller in between. And then I was reading I don't know, like a historical fiction, I think. So right now I am also reading 3 books. And the other reason why sometimes I have to switch books is because I borrow my audiobooks from the library, and I get the notification that my book is gonna expire in a few days. So then I drop everything and I try to read that book before it expires. So that's why I'm constantly jumping between books. Emery says, out of all of your albums, which one was the most fun to create? Oh, that's a great question, Emery. I have my favorites, definitely, I do. So I think my most favorites are back behind me right here, because well, I have another bookshelf full of books that are all, it's hard to say, because every time you make a new project, it becomes your new favorite, because you just put so much love and effort. And I always try to make the next book different. And then I come up with a different idea. So I said, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever. Sometimes I come up with ideas that don't work out. And then I'm like, oh no. But I think if I have to pick one, the camera book, that I don't have a camera book up there, but this one down here, am I picking right? That one. This is one of my most favorite. Let me grab it. See if I can. I think this is one of my most favorites because I just really had a lot of fun coming up with the design. Is so different. There's a shaker. I think this took me a really long time to figure out how to do this part. So each one of these books has a story, of course, like behind it. Like number one, I sit down with a piece of paper trying to come up with an idea based on the collection. Then how to make that idea happen. And then sometimes the idea just happens accidentally. And there it is. But this one did take a lot of effort, and I just really, this was one of my favorites. Let me go down. Yeah, this one is so cute, and it just magnetizes. I love all the gold details. Everything about this book was perfect. And well, I don't want to say perfect, but really fun to do. And then it does have like, let's look at it. This opens up like that, and then, gosh, I even forgot. Oh, it opens up from back here. It's a puzzle. I mean, some of these books, honestly, I don't even remember how they how they work. And sometimes when I need inspiration or when I feel stuck, I just go back to my books and I said, wow, okay, so I came up with this idea. So probably I can come up with something, cute like this. And the other one that I like was that other camera book that I recently shared. That one had really like cute, like fun features that just even though they're both camera books, they're very different. So I really like that. Sorry if I'm reading here again. I'm looking at your comments. Okay, so let's see if I can have another. Love all your projects. Thank you so much, Lisa Lynn Choice. Thank you. My favorite book. Oh, Ariel is asking me what is my favorite book that I have read this year. I have a few, and it's definitely a book that has made me cry. But of course, I can't think of it right now. So I have my reading journal, and this is why I do this, because I can think of my books anymore. I mean, of course, I love my books, but when I'm on the spot like this, it's hard to remember. And I do love keeping a journal. So this was actually one of my video classes, this journal. But me being the person that I am, I wanted to rearrange the pages to kind of fit more the layout that I wanted on my reading journal. So I rebound the whole thing. So on the class, this has actually like an open spine. So when I redid this, because I just wanted to move the signatures around, I had to rebind the whole book, but it's okay because now I really have the order that I like. So I'll do a video on this. I've actually been wanting to do a video on this, but I think my favorite book for this year so far it's here. Let's see. Well, there's actually a lot of really good books. So I really like Piranesi. Piranesi was one of my favorites. So this is like a fantasy book. I really like, I really like my thrillers. I love my thrillers. So I do spreads on, like, I read 4 thrillers at the same time or around the same week, and I do that. All the Light We Cannot See. This is probably one of my favorites for this year. This book was amazing. I mean, it was like World War II historical fiction mixed with fantasy and magic, and it was really good. And that's where I am so far. I still have to do it's like my little homework, but you know what, this is very relaxing to do. This is the type of things that I do when I'm stressed and I'm not crafting. Maybe I'm not making a full video, but I do like to do my books. But of course I am behind like everything else in my life. I'm very behind. So thank you, Ariel, for your question. You love my creativity. Thank you so much, Robin. So Trini Hurtado says, I just love your style. Making an explosion box using your tutorial from 5 years ago. Thank you. I did, I think, one explosion box tutorial, and I still have that project right here. And I loved it. I loved it. Thank you. I should do another tutorial for that. Okay, so let's see. I'm currently working, BD Crafts and more says, I'm currently working on my entry to your giveaway. Thank you. And would like to be a big, would you like a big bright Christmas theme, wanting to use my, yes. You know what? I think at the beginning I said I wanted something like whimsical and magical, but honestly, like thinking about it, because this is a journal that I'm going to make. If you see behind me, that little card, those are some of the entries, or some of the entries and some that I already had. And so what I want to do is bind all of those entries that you guys are sending me and make it into a big book, like a big journal like this. So instead of having pages, it will be your entries in here. And then I can go back and look. And I know I said I wanted a theme, but honestly, I think what I want to see is your reflection of whatever it is that you like to craft or whatever you have in your stash. And I just send them my way. I just want your name on my journal. Please send them my way. You still have time until Monday to send your entries. So thank you, thank you. So Trini says that's beautiful. Oops, I think I missed some questions. Okay, so Karen Anderson, hi. She says, I just recently got into making photo books. I am so addicted, wanting to make some bigger ones. And you do such great job. Love making watching your tutorials. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm a little hot. And so I think for me at the beginning, I always did mainly like 8x8 books, and it is a little bit of a, okay, just a little bit of air. I know it's noisy, guys. I'm sorry. So it was like a little bit challenging to move to larger books, because you know, it's always a challenge because you want to do all these things. You want to create more pop-ups, more secret pages, and at the end of the day you grab your book and it's too heavy, and not just that, but then it falls apart. And so I think if you want to move into bigger books, I will make them skinnier. So usually, if you have noticed, my bigger books are folios, which means I don't have like the whole like hinge system with heavy pages. I just do a folio, so all the weight lays on the two sides of your book. So basically with a folio, do I have any folios here? I don't, but I could show you this one. This is very convenient, actually, having it next to me. So this is not a folio, but this is a large book. But what I mean is, like, you put a lot of weights on the inside covers here, and then notice that I only have 2 pages. So when you want to move to bigger books like this, you don't want to do a full hinge. This is a whole other type of binding here, and I even reinforce this with brads, so you can see that I have brads, not just the glue holding the page together. And it also does look really cute with the brads in there, I'm not gonna lie. But that's how I make the book strong, because this is, I think this is an 11x9 or something like that. So it is a bit intimidating moving to larger books. But they're so much fun. This one is another one of my favorite. Everything that I make Alice is my favorite, because I just really want to make him super interactive and cute. Okay, let's put this back. Oh my goodness, that's a heavy one. That's an 8-pound book. Okay, so Karen Anderson, she says, I've noticed you use a lot of different papers that I have not seen in my area. Where are some of your favorite places to buy paper? So I work with my amazing supplier. So I don't, for example, I do belong to a design team right now. I'm on the Chavela design team. So they always send me their collections ahead before they even come out to the store and give us some time to work on projects. But other than that, I have my, like I said, my amazing supplier. So she always sending me pictures about new collections. And because I don't have like a store, for like a physical store to sell like papers, for example. And so she's always sending me pictures of whatever they get from different companies of what's coming next. Hi Debbie, you're back. Thank you. And so she sends me the pictures and then we place an order. So the orders that I think you have to have some sort of like store permit. I don't know how it works. I don't have one. I'm very lucky. I just work with her. She takes care of all of that. Just take care of playing with the pretty papers. And she also has a store, so you can visit. I will link it below. Then Anna says, Riley Sager, I think she's one of your favorites. Yes, it's a he. So Riley Sager, I finished reading all his books. He is the one who got me into reading thrillers. So I was someone who I always read, but I always read like a historical fiction or like some sort of historical fiction fantasy. I don't like full fantasy, but I like some, I don't know, like, what do you call that when it's fantasy but not like a whole new world? Like this world, but like fantasy, like 100 Years of Solitude will be like I don't know, like something like that, right? So I always like those type of books, something that will teach you something, I guess, because I don't know, explore classics and explore, these really popular, famous books. So I wasn't reading as much because those books are harder to comprehend, harder to understand. You have to dedicate more time. And then I discovered Riley Sager because I was watching a video of somebody recommending. I actually started watching videos about what was it? I wanted to like do a craft room. Sorry, I'm sweating. I wanted to do like a bookcase. Yeah, I wanted to display my bookcase. So I was watching a bookcase video, and this person was also talking about books. And then I got into her channel and listened to all her reading recommendations. And that's how I discovered this book by Riley Sager, Lock Every Door. And it's a thriller, but it's so fast paced that I finished the book within like a day and a half. I didn't even have the audiobook. It was that good. So I said, oh my gosh, now I gotta read, like I got into thrillers. And Agatha Christie as well. I think I've only read one Agatha Christie so far. So I am I know she's my mom's favorite author. So I'm walking my way through, I'm exploring now some more thrillers. And so the thrillers are the ones that are really easy to read because they just always leave you hanging on every chapter and you just want to know more, which makes you want to read the book faster. And I don't know, I just love. And so Riley Sager has that style of writing that is really fast paced, really intriguing. And I just finished reading my last book. By mean, like I've read all his books. I think there are 5 books that he has so far. And like him, so many others that I discovered. Okay, so the difference between a folio and a mini album, question by Angela. So the folio is basically what I show you. Typically it has 2 sides. I am working on a folio right now. So folios, you can basically just have 2 sides, 2 open faces, and you build onto those spaces. So you don't have like a hinge system when you are working on a folio. And the folio, you can do it plainly only on like heavy weight. You can do the folio on heavy weight, like a small folio like what I'm making right now, or you can do a folio also with chipboard, one of the largest folios, but again, no hinge system. Usually they're narrower, and it's just the way that you display the layouts. So I think that's the main difference that I see. That's what I think when I think of folio. It's like something that you open and it's 2-faced and it's easy to make. Easier to make than creating a mini album with like pages, like page 1, 2, and so forth. Okay, let's see. Do you have a tutorial for making a mini album and a journal into one? Off the top of my head, I can think about, there's like a beach album. I don't think I have it here, but it's one that it was like half folio, half journal. And what I love about the folios or the journals is the coffee dye paper technique, right? So, okay, thank you, Robin. Robin says, turn on my fan. Thank you. I'll put it really low because I am sweating. Because besides the weather, which I don't even know what it is right now, it's the lights of the, that are making me sweat. I'm melting. Um, so I do have a tutorial. I will probably find it and link it below, but I know there's a beach one that had that whole half folio, half journal. So then we have Celestina. She says, I love your Halloween album. One of my favorites if you're Peter Pan. I love my Peter Pan. It's up here. Is it up here? It's this one in my behind me right there. That's also one of my favorite books. I think that was the first book that I really play around with fantasy and like story collections, like storybook collections, and it was just really fun. My Ariel is asking me what is the most current project that I am working on, which is this one that I started this morning, and I'm gonna hopefully finish it or work on it a little more tonight. So I am making a Victorian Gothic. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but I am working with my digital collection here. Let's see, do I have it? Oh, here. And so I just went ahead and printed out my new digital collection that is available on Patreon. I didn't print all the pages, so as I was printing, I ran out of ink, so I already bought it, so it should be here tomorrow. So I'll start working on the folio tonight, and then I'll finish printing some of the sheets. And I just really love playing with, you know, designs. I love everything that is designed. So I'm designing some pages now for my Patreon, and then we do a tutorial, and it's just really fun. So this is an enchanting, kind of like a fall Halloween project. So it's going to be a little bit of a gothic. Let me see if I, let's see. So that is the lady. So this is a collection that I was telling you that it was inspired by the book. And these are the catapults. So I don't have the full collection because I ran out of ink. But there you go. So that's all I can see here. I ran out of ink. That's a little sneak peek for you. But yeah, so that is what I'm working on right now, Ariel. And okay, so I had some more questions. Thank you. Just joining. What book? Ooh, what book of what? I missed the rest of the question. So Butterfly Charm says, I bought one of your digital magazines, one of the tutorials on making a double pocket mini album was missing directions. Okay, so went to your channel and watched the video and found the missing part. Oh, thank you. I'm actually gonna look at it. Which magazine was that? Are you making more 1 hour to craft projects? Yes, I wanted to. I was gonna do that, but then I started recording the fall series. So when I'm finished with the fall series, we're gonna go back to the 1 hour crafting, which is at this time, right? Oh my gosh, now my hair is getting in my mouth. So that's why I wanted to do the live at this time. Why am I getting? I'm gonna turn this off. I want to do the live at this time because this is the time that we were doing our 1 hour crafting. So I don't know, maybe we can do this like some lives at this time and craft live. I think within the hour we can try. I don't know if we're gonna be able to craft today. Christmas series this year, I was thinking about it. I'm not 100% sure yet because I tend to overfill my plates. And so I don't want to commit to a 12 days of Christmas yet. What I want to do is see if I have time to work on projects ahead and then make it a Christmas series. But probably won't be 12 days. It's very time consuming. And so what has happened in the past with my 12 days of Christmas was it will be 1 in the morning and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't do the project. So I will get up and do something quick. But then it takes a long time to upload the video, like edit the video, upload the video, and then the next morning, of course, I am paying the consequences, and then doing it again for 12 days. So if I get to craft ahead, I will do a Christmas series, but I don't want to overcommit. But I'll come up with a lot of Christmas projects. So, maybe instead of doing a full series, a 12-day series, then maybe we can do one big album that can be divided into parts. Because I feel like I haven't done any big album tutorials for in a while right now. Okay, so then we have Anne-Marie. She says the Alice album is from the Stamperia collection. Yes. Did you make a video with the album? I have the paper collection and ended up loving it so much. So the one that I was holding is this one here. It's a video class. So you can find that on the website. But then I also have the other one. I think it's behind it. Can you see that one? So that one behind it, I have a tutorial on my channel. So I have a few Alice, and then I also have the other Alice, the blue Alice. It's not here, but I also have a free tutorial for that Alice. But yeah, that's a beautiful collection by Stamperia. Okay, so Jessica says, I've done paper albums for a while, but I was just introduced to Folios and I can't stop making. Yeah, because there's so fast, a lot faster, not so much faster. They're faster than mini albums. And I feel like with Folios, it's kind of like making one huge or two huge signature pages. So you can play more with the interactive elements like opening and closing, things like that. While making the album, you need to think about, for example, 8 different ideas for 8 different pages. And at the same time, make sure that those pages are not super heavy so they don't break down your hinge. But with Folios, you can build and build and build. So it's so much fun. Okay. Okay, so Debbie, what mystery book did you read? The one that I just finished, mystery book, is The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. It's a good one. So if you like Rebecca, Rebecca, that it's a book also, but it was also a movie on Netflix. So if you like Rebecca, you will love this book. It's like a combination of Rebecca and Mexican Gothic. It's really good. So let's see. Barbara, she says, Folio and lab books are my favorites. The Alice in Wonderland lab book and Midnight Tales are my favorite. Oh, thank you. Yeah, those are super fun. Like the Alice ones, I always wanna like push my creativity just because I get so many inspirations. When I was little, I grew up not just watching the Alice in Wonderland movie, that was my favorite movie, but also like I always had different pop-up albums that were Alice. Like I was like a mini collector of Alice in Wonderland pop-up books. And I also have Pinocchio pop-up books. So they were all so cute. Like I would always get those. And I still have one. It's not the same as one that I rebought as an adult, but it's really cute. So I always get a lot of inspiration for pop-up pages for Alice in Wonderland albums. So I love that. Okay. What size paper do you print your papers? So I just use the 8.5 by 11, 65-pound cardstock, the Recollections papers, and that's what I print. Yeah, that's all I use, and it's pretty good. You don't want to print on heavyweight because when I print on heavyweight, it gets stuck on my printer. So I just print on that and then I glue it onto heavyweight cardstock. Okay, so where can I get the Alice in Wonderland paper and the camera book tutorials? So the tutorials are all video classes available on my website. The papers though, I don't, like if they're older kits, I don't have those kits anymore. But if you take the class, or you can see I go over which paper is which, so you can find it somewhere else if you wanted to, or you can use a different paper, or you can find the paper before you buy the class. And so yeah, so everything is on the website. Oh, where am I? hmm Thank you, Robin. uh, Chrissy Luna says, I bought several of your magazines and did a landscape folio and put a shaker in front of it. Oh, that's cute, with a gum inside. Gums are my favorite. They're cute. Um, I don't remember. I bought a few on my computer. I had, which doesn't work anymore. I had printed this out before, and I can go check on your website and let you know. Yeah, so if you ever buy something like a digital class on my website and something happens to your computer, or you didn't download it in time, because I think the website gives you 30 days to download it, you can always send me a message. Just send me a message through the website. So when you send me a message on my website, it goes right to my phone. And when I click on the message, I can see your history of everything that you purchased on my website. And I can literally do 2 clicks and resend you your class because I can see. But, and then, so you can do that through the website. I can always resend you the links to download. If you send me an email, I can also do it, but if you send me an email, I will need the purchase number, so that way I can go and find it. So it takes me a couple more steps, but I can also do it. But sending me a message through the website, it's really convenient. So you go into the website, and I think on the right, on the lower right side, there is a thing that says chat or whatever. So I might not be live to chat with you, but I'll get those messages, and then or just go on the contact. So I can always resend those to you if you're missing. I know, Debbie. Debbie says it's hard to craft ahead. For me too, Debbie, because I'm always swimming. I am swimming against the river. And it's like, if I don't need to post it right now, I'm going to work on something else. Or most likely, I'm going to lay down and read my book. Um, and I know, so it's a lot easier to craft live because you don't have to edit. It just goes live. But I'm always so nervous. See, we're already like an hour into, and I haven't even got to crafting. So I don't know if we'll be crafting today. I'm already losing my voice. But I think we can schedule. So maybe, okay, so I'm going to do this. So maybe next week, instead of doing a 1 hour crafting video, maybe I'll do a live. But I won't do questions. I will just go right into projects. Does that sound good? Maybe that will be a good thing to do. It'll be fun. And then I can think of something ahead. Because my idea for today was to craft, but kind of having you tell me what to do because I didn't plan anything. So yeah, so the good thing about the lives is that you don't have to edit, and then the video gets eventually posted. Casey Creative Crafting says, you taught me how to do my first album, and that was 60 years ago. Thank you for that comment. That is insane how I had this channel for 7 years right now. Like, I mean, my kids are half, like my oldest is 15 right now, so that means she was 8 when and that's crazy to think about how, so you literally have seen my girls grow because they used to be more active in my channel. Now they're my admins here. So thank you. Okay. So Shavi Hippie says, hi, Rosa. Hi, hello. She's from Pennsylvania. Barbara says, I think of the 12 days of Christmas, maybe a page a day because of everyone else is so very busy. So yeah, so that's another thing that I noticed. Like, I know we want to create content and inspiration for you guys, but honestly, you are probably, so usually I put my 12 days of Christmas on December 1st and I go for 12 days. But at that time, if you really think about it, if you're not a crafter, like crafts every day of their lives, like that is not enough time for you to make presents. It really isn't. So you're gonna have to start like a month. So that's why I kind of switched it to the Christmas in July. So you have more time to finish those up. And also it's not as crazy for me because, on top of putting the series, Debbie will agree. You also have to do your own Christmas preparations, and so it's very crazy. And And so I think it's best to do the Christmas series ahead. So I will try my best to maybe start on November. Okay, so let's see. It says, I have never made a folio. I made one of your 8 by 8 albums for Mother's Day for my mom. Oh, that's sweet. Anne Marie says, would you ever think of doing a Snow White album if there was paper collection? She's my favorite princess. And since I was a little girl, you know what, Anne Marie? I might just, when I was looking at the collection for the Gothic Enchanted Princess here, I have some Apple images, and I was thinking on Snow White. I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect for, so maybe if we can find Snow White paper, I can find a way to make a Snow White paper, and then we can do a project with that. I know I did a Red Riding Hood, which is down there. The red thing that you see, that's my Red Riding Hood book, and I love Red Riding Hood. That also was inspired by a book that I was reading, and I knew I wanted a Red Riding Hood collection, so I just designed one, and it was really fun. And that, I think there's a video walkthrough for that as well, but that was a Patreon project. Your cabinet is full of mini albums. We have the same problem, my friend. Thank you, Shabby Hippie, for the birthday wishes. Yes, I had a birthday last week. It was really sweet. My girls are really, really sweet. I love all the interactive elements that you make. Appreciate you teaching us how to recreate them. Thank you. I really have fun teaching because I always tell my girls, if, I always wanted to be a teacher, but obviously, like, for some reason, I ended up not being a teacher. But I have always have teaching in my life. When I was doing engineering, I was mentoring younger engineers, so I was teaching them math. And I always love to teach. So making the videos is kind of for me like fulfilling my frustrated dream of being a teacher. I know it's a little bit different. I mean, it's very different because I don't have live students. It's a lot easier with the video, but I love teaching. Hi, Casey, Creative Crafting from Canada. Okay, so there we go. Debbie says your schedule is so hard. Okay, so let's see. Great idea. Sounds good. Yes. Okay. So I think I'm going to set up another live. See, today I was really nervous because I always do, not always, once a month I do lives for my members on my channel. But for me, that's such a cozy, like, safety space because it's a few of us, right? It's not that many people. But when I do just like an open public live like this, I get so nervous that, like, I don't know, it's a different interaction. And so, but I would, now that I went through this, and this is so much fun, so I will probably do a live next week. Let's do it. I'm gonna commit to a live next Friday night. We're gonna do a live crafting. I'll come up with a project that we can do from start to finish in an hour. Okay, so be ready. I'll probably post a list of like supplies ahead, so just like I do on my lives, that way you know what to bring. Okay, so Celestina says, I've learned how to make mini albums from you. I looked at another tutorials and your way of explaining made it click. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that worked out. Yes, sometimes we just have different ways, different styles. Okay, so Maria Ayala says, hola from Florida. So hi, Maria. Natalie says she'd make her first book. That just makes me so happy, you guys, to know that I, help you or inspire you to do a mini album. They're just like my favorite thing to do. And sometimes I feel like you guys can get bored of all these mini albums, and I try to think of something else to do. And that's when I get stressed because that's what I love to do. So then I'm like, oh my God, okay, let me do something different. But yes, usually when I try something different, those videos don't get watched as much anyway. So I go back to the mini albums. I love to make them. So you can always give me ideas on what type of album you would like to see. Um, she says Robin says she loved my Red Riding Hood album, so thank you, Robin. Debbie says, no, I'm skipping one, sorry. I made an album from your tutorials for a mini album. My friend loved it. Oh, a baby album. I am about to make 2 baby albums, hopefully sometime soon, because I have a new baby niece that I'm gonna make an album for. I had one a couple months ago and now I have another one, and then I have another commission book that I'm going to make. I usually don't take commission books anymore, not anymore, not as often, sorry, but this lady, she has already ordered from me before a few times, and I can I I will do it for her. I have to. um, okay, so Debbie says, oh my gosh, me too. I love teaching. I know you do, Debbie. She's the best when she does her tutorials. And Debbie, even if you don't see her face on the video, you can tell she's smiling the whole time. Like Debbie, I always put your videos in the morning to wake me up. They do wake me up because you're just so bright and happy. Anna says, I think we can all agree you love teaching. We learn so much from you every day. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Trini says, that's why you are so good at the mechanics of your books. Maybe. I love your projects. You made it easy for us. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You did very well, honestly. You are like a pro. Oh, thank you. I don't know if I'm a pro, but I definitely consider myself now a little bit experienced because I've done over 100 books. So I know, I think I can learn from my mistakes, and hopefully I can teach you from my mistakes as well on what not to do, what to do. um, okay, so yes, crafty night next Friday. Let's do it. Okay, so she says, I'm working from a baby chipboard project right now. Ooh, Debbie, I can't wait to see. Thank you, Leslie. She says, my albums are beautiful. I would like to see more 6x6 albums. I have so many 6x6 papers that I would really like to use. Yes, I did one for, I think it was a bonus tutorial, but I'm gonna do one because you know what I love about 6x6 books is that they just turn out so cute and so chunky, and I love chunky books. I love chunky books. And I do have a lot of 6x6 papers too that I want to use. So maybe next week we will do a 6x6 album. See, we're coming up with all these ideas already. So Lisette Luna says, I found you when looking your interactive scrapbook layouts. Instantly fell in love with your channel. Thank you. Would love to see more layout. Yes, so at the beginning of this year, I wanted to do an interactive scrapbook layout every month, like once a month, the highlight of the month. I always have really good ideas, but very little time because next thing you know, it's September and I haven't even started with the January books. And so when I was on the, I think it was the scrapbooking.com design team, they do 12 by 12 layouts. And of course, I wanted to do that as well as adding some interactive like opening. So it was a 12 by 12 layout that will have like opening things, kind of like a mini album. So it's like a little combo. And I love those. And you do put them on your big scrapbook, 12 by 12 books that are, mine are all down here. And it was so much fun. So I wanted to do that, but I never did. So thank you, Lisette, for reminding me. And I'm, maybe we don't have to wait until January. Maybe we can just start right now. Because when I look at a beautiful 12 by 12 collection and I don't want to cut into it, sometimes the design is perfect. I say this will be perfect for a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. So I do have papers that I have saved for that, but I never did it. Um, and Leslie says she loves Debbie, of course. Um, Trini says, I spent an entire day watching your videos and enjoy every one of them. Didn't even realize the time has passed. Oh, thank you. That happens to me too. Not with my videos, but I go and I type in mini album or whatever, and I just put play and I just leave it on the background. So relaxing. It's so relaxing. Casey, Creative Crafting, she says, never bore with your projects. Thank you. I bet you must have a lot of pressure to come up with new stuff, but really anything you do is new and it doesn't have to be spectacular. Thank you. You know, sometimes I do, but I think it's pressure within myself. And one thing that I notice as my channel grows, I don't know why I feel more intimidated to make videos. Like when the channel was smaller, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna show you what I did. And then as the channel was growing, people wanted to see tutorials. So they always asked me for a tutorial. So before I show a project, I wanted to do a tutorial or refer you to a tutorial that I have done. And so you can see how now the projects kind of start slowing down. And then as the channel kept growing, I feel more intimidated to show something that maybe it's boring. So I'm like, okay, how can I modify these, make it in a, not so much complicated way, still keep the project easy, but different. So it is a little bit of pressure. I wouldn't call it pressure. I would call it like challenging myself. One of the things that I love to do is challenge myself. And I do that for everything. Like even when I clean the house, I put a timer on and I said, okay, 15 minutes. I'm going to clean this room 15 minutes. It's a challenge, but at least, I like playing with challenges like that for my life. Same thing when I'm doing my work. I put my timer for an hour and I say this 1 hour, I'm only going to concentrate on these tasks or emails or whatever. And it has to be done within this hour. So I work good with limitations and pushing myself. I think that's just that's my system. That's what works for me. Patina says, you were the first channel I looked when I started paper crafting. My first mini album was horrible, but I stayed with it and got better over the years. And I know my first mini album is this red one here. Is a Disney book with no pictures because um, I made it too heavy. It's one of those books that it was my first book. It took me 3 months to make. I was figuring out how many albums work. I didn't watch any tutorials. I just really wanted to. I'm somebody who likes to figure out things. It might be I don't know, my engineering background maybe. But it took me forever. And it's still one of my favorite books to look at and flip the pages, but I cannot put pictures on that book because that book is too heavy. If I add a picture, that book is going to fall apart. So that's something that I've learned with time, and I reinforce the spine time and time again. Even though it didn't have pictures, the pages were too heavy pulling down on the book. So I reinforced the spine, but still I can't put pictures, but it's one of my favorites. So I keep it. I have to keep it. It's my first book ever. And so I know, but we have the attachment to the first book or the first project. So Debbie says, you are a pro, Rosa. You're teaching us awesome more. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie. Sometimes I just let your videos run in the background as I work. Thank you. See, that makes me happy to hear, but also mortified because I hate my voice. And I think everybody would agree that when we listen to ourselves on a replay, we don't like how we sound. On a voicemail or something, you go back and you're like, oh my God, I sound horrible. So that's how I feel after every video. So I don't ever watch my own videos unless I have to really edit. And usually my tutorials, I don't do a lot of, like I edit. When I make a mistake, I cut and I know I have to edit, but I don't rewatch the whole section. But when I am editing my book videos, I literally have to see myself and edit because I hate like my voice, my accent, or maybe the way like my face. Oh, believe me, it's not fun to look at yourself or hearing yourself, but I thank you for allowing me in your life like that. Nora says the very first tutorial I ever followed and did was your lab book, and I've been hooked ever since. My lab book was really fun. I think that idea came from a project that I was working with one of my daughters when, my God, I think she was like 5 or 6 years old, and there was these little books that you open the book on two, and then on this side there's like this little accordion, like, and it was just all made with sticky notes, right? So with sticky notes, you put the sticky notes one on top of each other, and there was like a little flappy thingy, and on the other side the sticky notes were like side to side, so it was like an accordion thingy, and I thought it was really cute. So it's one of those like the things that the children need to touch. What do you call motor skills? And so this pulls up and down, and this you pull it down, and it's mainly like a toy, right? It's like a toy book. And I was like, I'm gonna make this into a mini album. And that's where the lab book idea came up. Like, this is gonna be a lab book, because I think that's what they were called, because you put it on your lap and you play with it. And I think it was like a lap toy or something. So I said, I'm gonna make a lap book and grab this idea of, like how little kids like to like open buttons and things like that, but into a mini album, because I am honestly obsessed with memory keeping and pictures. That's one of the things that I love the most. And anytime I can find a new way to express that, that's awesome. Okay, so where am I? Celestina says to Debbie that she does radiate happiness, and she does. You have to visit Debbie if you haven't so yet, because she will make you smile as you watch her video. How do we design our own paper collections? So there's a few programs that you can use and play with some images, play with some backgrounds. You can mix, there's Procreate. I use two different programs. There's the Procreate one from Apple, and there's another one from Windows that I don't know what it's called. Oh, I'm on my MacBook here, but yeah, so you can play around with images. You can purchase images they're called clip arts, and then you just mix them up. It's really fun. It's another way to have fun designing things. Hello to Montreal. Okay, so I'm a little behind. So Casey Creative Crafting says mistakes are a huge learning curve, and once I get past that, it opens the world of creativity. Mistakes are an opportunity to change the page. Yes, and we can also use that analogy to life, right? Just like, you know what? This mistake just made it better. And then we can turn the page and have more fun creating something new. Um, okay, so there's, oh, Debbie, thank you. She says, my projects are never boring. Thank you. Kamal, hi Kamal. She says, I love your new craft room. Literally binge watched the making of this room. Thank you. Mm-hmm. This room was a project, I gotta say. This whole thing, did I do a video on that? I did do a video on that. We basically built this from scratch. Like, we took out the walls, we took out the floor to put everything new. This was my garage. This is my garage. Now we call it my studio. And we divided the garage in two. So here is the studio part. And back there behind this wall is the gym part. And we put this huge mirror so we can now actually work out. Do we work out? Not in this heat, but we have been working out. So we go to, don't feel intimidated. We love anything you make. Thank you so much. I love your videos, so inspiring. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Patina. Yes, Patina kept her book too. You have to keep it. It's your first baby. It's your first book. Even till this day, when I think the latest project that I did, I put out for sale, and it just hurts me. It's like I'm giving away one of my babies. But I'm glad that it can be, because otherwise they just sit here, and I believe me, I have too many. So I'm going to be selling more books, because it just makes me sad that they're not being used how they need to be used. Okay, so I'm going to. Oh, Jessica says she loves my accent. Okay, thank you. I don't, and then also the thing is, like, as you can probably hear, my voice gets really dry really quickly, and it's the heat, and it's also the cold. So I can never win. I can never win. So I'm always either drinking hot tea or a lot of water. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm always sore too. I always have a sore throat when I record. Sometimes I record until like 1 in the morning, like on the weekend, and then the next day I am in so much pain. It's a problem. mm, so it says we all hear voices. Yes, we do. We do. Oh, Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. She says you do so much for us. Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you, thank you. New to my channel. Oh, thank you. Welcome. Join along. Come on, hit the like button. um, so I'm here already. I'm catching up. I'm so happy to be joining you, Rosa. For you inspired me so much to do something I love. After babies, I needed to find creative outlets, and you helped me find that. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's so funny how our babies, our kids, like, inspire us to find different ways to document and treasure their lives, right? Because we, at the end of the day, are telling their stories. And my girls love watching, or not watching, but like looking at their books from when they were babies. And of course, when I started at first, I did the 12 by 12 books, right? So, and it was fun to do, but my 12 by 12 are very boring. Like, they're really boring. It was just like, let's put a pretty paper and glue some pictures. And then I found this whole mini album creative way. And we do sometimes at the end of the day need time to ourselves to decompress, to relax. But everything we do surrounds around our babies, our kids. And that's what I love memory keeping. I love treasuring their lives in a special, more magical way, I guess, than just like, oh yeah, let's look at the phone and look at your pictures from 4 years ago. No, let's make a beautiful book that we can touch and we can play. And I remember when my girls, they were always very interested on crafting with me until they weren't for some time. And then I'll be like creating something more amazing, like not amazing, but like more dynamic, more cool. And I'll be like, look what I just did. And when my girls were impressed, that was like a check mark in my book. Like, yes, now they like it. It's just silly, but yes, they always do inspire me so much. How do I maintain my nails? My daughter Emma, I know she's gonna hate me for this, but she's my nail lady now. She does the best nails ever. And these are acrylic. These are not my nails, but my nails are always really long, and she's always doing my nails. So I am so lucky. I have my own nail lady at home. Um, it's so funny. She says, ever since the pandemic, the craft stores are so limited in supplies. What is your favorite online company to purchase your supplies from? That is so true. Oh my gosh, I hated it. The time where I went, when we were still very, very into the pandemic, I remember going to Michael's and there would be nothing. And I think it was one weekend where I was like, I have no car stock. It's kind of like not having milk in my house. Not having car stock is like not having milk. Maybe even worse, because if we don't have milk, you can have tea or a sandwich. But I started doing, just tea dyeing paper. I think I was doing more journaling at that time because I started tea dyeing paper and just, I don't know, finding other ways to express my creativity. But my favorite online stores, to be honest, I always buy it on Amazon because that's where I buy my magnets, my tape, my tools. I still go back to Michael's for my cardstock. That has been, I've tried different ones from everywhere, but I don't quite like it as much. And and I haven't been really buying paper online, like design papers. I haven't. I mean, I get my kits delivered to me, honestly. So I'm very grateful for that. And that's what I concentrate and that's what I work on. So if I'm not working on my kits, I am working with my stash. And for the moment, I'm not trying to grow my stash, but I have seen some beautiful collections. So when I see a beautiful collection that I really want to work with, I make it into a kit. That way I have the paper and it forces me to work with the paper, not just like add more paper to my stash. Um, okay, so go up to, I got more comments. I found you from Marta Paper Raft. She loves you and tells us, oh, thank you. I love Marta. She's so fun. I think she recently put a video too. I was watching that yesterday. Want you to know how much you're appreciated and not able to be a member right now. So no free content has helped me through some rough patches. Keeps me, sorry, I can't read right now. In my crafty happy space. Thank you. You don't have to be a member. I mean, I do appreciate all my members. My memberships and my Patreon is what pays for all of these. It is a very expensive hobby, as you know, like the lights. Now that I redid this studio, I am in a little bit of debt. um, but you don't have to. I appreciate everyone who supports my channel that way. I am very grateful. But I do always want to keep content free for everybody. And if even if I don't post as often, it's not because I don't want to or because, oh, I do try to prioritize my commitments with my Patreons, with my members. But honestly, crafting is, I do because I love it. And I don't think I'll ever stop sharing free videos. And it kind of, sometimes I feel like oh my gosh, I haven't posted a video in a long time. And I look at my YouTube studio and it's only been like 4 days or 6 days. But I feel like I'm missing it because I don't want to ever not connect with you guys. So don't feel like you have to be a member. But of course, I appreciate every one of you, even member or not. Okay, so oh my goodness, I moved my comments again. Okay, so here we go. Where was I? Emery says, ever since the pandemic, craft store. Oh, I did read that one. Okay, so let me go down. Okay, so she says, Pink RD1 says, thank you so much for the magnet link. I've been looking for magnets. Magnets, I always get on Amazon. I think they're the cheapest, easiest way to go. I got so used to those magnets. Now they're never the same suppliers. So I do have an Amazon store, always link on my channel, on the description box. And I do go and refresh those links because every time I buy magnets, which is every month, maybe every other month, I'm sorry, when I go buy my magnets and they're sold out, so I have to find a different supplier. So I have like 3 or 4 suppliers that I have purchased, so I'm always waiting for the restocks. So I'm constantly updating those links. So they're all on my Amazon store, and all my favorite tools also, they're in there. Okay, so my grandchildren are now showing me new ways to doing things. I know, right? I'm like, I show you how to walk. Just remember that. Just remember, mommy show you how to walk. Now you show me how to do all the things. I appreciate that. And it's so funny how life circles around. I mean, I always thought that I need to learn so much because I need to teach my children so much. But little did I know my children are teaching me so much. I am so happy for that phase in my life that, my daughter dyed my hair and it's amazing. So thank you. Does my nails and a lot of other things, of course, not just that. But they're so good. Kids are so good with technology. They find a way to do something that I never even thought about, and it's just really good. Anna says, after a hard day, I only have to tune into one of your videos and relax. Oh, thank you so much. It's something I do too. Like before bed, I read my book, but I also have to watch a YouTube video. I have to, like, it just suits me. Barbara, she says, every album that you make, show me how to make has been for someone. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I need to relearn how to read. Every album that you have shown me how to make has been for someone and they have loved them. Okay, I get it. I just finished a baby album for a baby shower for this month. Oh, baby books are my favorite. Like I said, I have to make two. I have to make two books. I will. Maybe the next life will be a 6x6 baby book. See, we're coming out with ideas. Um, I want to sell some of my albums. What price range do you decide to sell them for? That's a really good question. So I will do whatever you, it's hard to say because I see some books that are very expensive, very, very expensive. Mine are probably not as expensive because I always take into consideration that I was sent some of these papers, so it didn't actually come out of my pockets, the papers, but everything else does, like the magnets, everything else does. And what I will do is, like, whatever your investment is for that book, kind of write down. I never done this, okay, but I saw somebody say that you write down how much you spent on that book and kind of like double that to make some sort of profit. And that works, some maybe, it just depends, because it's hard to put an amount of money on your time, because these albums do take at least a week. I mean, for me, someone who has done albums for a long time, it still takes me a long week to come up with the idea. Maybe the physical part of making the book might take 3 days or 4 days, but to come up with the idea, to understand what the person wants, to make the book fun, it's a lot more than just making the book. It's planning ahead, is selecting the paper, is buying this, is going to the store, is having the time to do it. It's a lot. So you really have to kind of learn how to value your time and don't short yourself out, right? Because and that's how I see it. That's my opinion. And yeah, this, I mean, it's not a cheap hobby, unfortunately. um, okay, I hope that answers the question. um, so Catty Lady 17 says, yes, my boys love looking through my books with their photos, and your fun interactive pages make them even more fun. Thank you. You are darling, and thanks again for inspiring me. Thank you so much, Catty. Yes, so when I see, I think but he's like my nephew, like one time he was like, oh wow, this is cool, something that spins, like that spinning tower. And I was like, wait, you think this is cool? If you think this is cool, then I'm it's always a good moment when you impress your teenage family members. Okay, so, oh my goodness, did I scroll up too much? Okay. Oh, bye, Debbie. Okay, I just saw that Debbie says that she's going. Thank you, Debbie, for joining, for helping. Good night. Okay, so a couple more, a couple more comments. Um, Craft and Cake. Oh, I love your channel name, Craft and Cake. So she says, I love your nail color. What is it called? I don't know. I don't know what's it called. I do use Yell nail, and that will be a question for my daughter. Because she does this like glossy and the pink, I don't know what it's called, but they are from that brand. I think it's called Biggie. Oh my gosh, I know, Baggy. It's some sort of ladybug design, so they're from Amazon. I'll link it below. And so we bought the set of all pinks, so it's one of those. pinks. Like they sell them on like a set of 7, I think. So yeah, thank you. Oh my gosh, it's 7:55 in India and you are up. Thank you. Is it Saturday? Saturday, right? Oh my gosh, it's Saturday already there. That's so fun. Like that's crazy. Okay, so then we have one more question or comment. Lisa Luna says, I love when my girls look through their albums. My little one started crying when she saw her book. Oh, that's how I know I'm doing good. Yes, that's how you know. And when I make the baby books, it's more about the mom. Like when I gave my book to, or the book that I made for my sister-in-law, she was so excited, and that just makes me happy without bragging or be like, oh my god, I'm so cool. I just, to see her be happy and to give her something where she's going to treasure like her baby's memories. I wish I had that. I honestly don't have a mini album for my girls when they were babies. I have them like birthdays and growing up, but it has always been a goal to go back and put those pictures into a mini album. But it's just so difficult to go back and do that again. So I wish I started this sooner. But I'm documenting everything else after that. And I think if you saw my Christmas video, I'm still going through my Christmas books. I am in 2015, so I have 6 more to go. Or 7 more to go. But yeah, so I just love crafting. I want to thank you guys again so much for allowing me to do this hobby, to have this crafty space in the internet. I am so forever grateful for you, for letting me inspire you, for letting me play with my ideas, put it out there, and somehow you like them, and I'm so grateful for that. So thank you. Small Moments said, you're looking lovely as always. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your artistic talent. You taught me all I know about scrapbooking, plus help me keep my sanity during the lock. Thank you. Yes. So this is exactly why I craft, right? It keeps my sanity. And it keeps me happy. So I'm gonna end the live. And I want to thank you guys so much. If you're watching the replay, thank you also for if you leave a comment down there, please do so. I will come back and try to answer as many as possible if you have some questions. Oh, okay. Oh, this is fun. So Anna says, besides scrapbooking, do I also do cross stitching? Emma's doing cross stitching. I do love to do crochet, but I can be too fast because my wrist starts to hurt. But yeah, I like doing everything crafty. To name it, I've tried it. I used to do crochet hats. I have a page on that on Facebook, but I don't do it anymore. But yeah, I like trying new things. I actually, I'm incorporating some crocheted elements onto my new magazine, just so you know what's kind of coming. There's some crochet in there, some embroidery in there that's gonna be incorporated into albums, and it's gonna be fun. It's taking me a little bit of time, but it's coming. So thank you guys so much for joining the live. I will see you next week at the same time. We're gonna be crafting a project, a 6x6 mini album that's going to be a baby book. I think that's what we said, right? So I will list some supplies that you might want to bring ahead. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Hit the like, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye guys.